here I am in lovely Studio City, looking at the center, because they couldn't come up with a name for it, so they just called it the center. They got raw junkies, so if you want to get a junkie that's kind of raw, they got that. Fine art classes, I guess that's drawing and painting, because that would be considered fine art. I know, because I went to an art school, and that's what we used to do. I actually used to teach drawing, and I was teaching media control, as I called it, in my last year to my own class, because all summer I had experimented on how to use acrylic paints to make it look like oil, and that was fun. Then I got out, and for the summer I taught at a private art center, and then I moved into an assistant art directorship with a company, a label company, and then I left there and went to be an art director of a religious publishing house. Yes, me, dealing with religion. What my job was, I had to read the Bible and illustrate it in full color with watercolors, because we didn't have 3D generation or anything like that. So I was using watercolors, couldn't have outlines, had to be rendered, had to be three-dimensional, had to look like it was actually photos of Jesus and his buddies hanging out. And that paid a lot of money. But I couldn't take the pressure. For like 3 weeks I was working about 16, 18 hours a day, and then I had a nervous breakdown. What happened? I was in the shower washing the soap out of the back of my head, off the back of my head, my hair. And I open my eyes, and there's Jesus nailed to the wall. He's got his hands up, shoulder high, palms towards me, and there's a stake in each wrist. His legs are crossed, and there's a stake through the ankles of his two legs, and there's blood, 3 trails of blood, one from each hand and then from his legs, coming down into the tub and mixing and then running between my legs. Now at that time I had a bunch of people over in the living room, and I thought that one of them had done this as a prank. And I went, oh my God, and I smashed my head on the shower nozzle. I woke up in a pool of blood on the floor, and 6 of my friends, 2 of them female, standing over me going, what the fuck did you do? So I explained to them that Jesus was there, and they went, yeah, okay, and they patched my head up. They wrapped my head with a towel and put some duct tape around there. I don't think it was duct tape, it was something similar to that. We didn't have duct tape back in the early 70s. They took me to an emergency room, and I think I got like 63, 68 stitches. I don't remember. I had a concussion, and they had me see a psychiatrist the next day, and he told me, what were you doing before you came home? And I told him. He says, well, what had happened is when you relax, because you're under so much stress, when you relaxed, you had a hallucination. What the images were images that you would generate, and so when you relaxed, they popped out of your head, and you thought they were real. And what's really strange is every time I tell the story, I can still see Jesus there. It cuts in the sides, and there's blood running. Oh, I don't want to get into it. It was pretty disgusting. But that's what I taught. I taught, but there was no putty tats. And so I quit the job, and I had a shitload of money. That's about 60 grand in the bank, and lived on that from the end of 74 until March of 79. I think it was March, and then I moved to San Francisco, and my life changed, and I became a full-time comedian. The whole time I wasn't working, I was taking comedy classes for about 6 weeks, and then I was going up to New York, working out at the different clubs up there. Met Jerry Seinfeld and some other famous people up there, and Gary Shandling, he was very nice, and I can't remember who else, but then I moved to San Francisco and everything changed.